Hey, yo, good people of the internet. No Cooldown is back in your establishment. We are here again, episode 107. Oh my goodness. We're here again. It's been a little bit, but we are literally in the thickest time for games that we've possibly seen in a long time, probably a good several months, and we're surviving. You know, we're doing our damn thing. Of course, it's that man Trip. We are here. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're living life. Hope you're doing games. Hope you're doing all the simple things in a time where everything is upside down and absolutely insane. But you know, we're carrying the damn thing. And of course, I got my podcast partner in crime with me. He is the future holder of the Guinness World Record for the longest person to take time to finish Metaphor Refantasia, with plans to finish it in 2087. When Easy's back in the building. What's going on, dog?
Nothing much, man. You know, every day I log onto that game, I take 3 steps forward and I log back off. You know, we're taking our sweet time. We're enjoying every minute of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Listen, and at the end, you get a nice bonus, man. The ARP check, brother. Is, you know what I'm saying? Is balance. That's what we're talking about.
It's gonna be great on my arthritis.
Oh, dead. But hey, listen, before you all get arthritis in your hands and several ligaments and whatever else in your bones and all that stuff, make sure you go rate this podcast 5 stars. Make sure you check us on all audio podcast platforms. Again, just type in No Cooldown Podcast. Will be right there. YouTube /@NoCooldown. Everywhere else on social media, No Cooldown Podcast. And on Blue Sky. We all Blue Sky now. We gotta figure out what type of post we're gonna do, since they, you know what I'm saying, limited to 60 seconds. So we'll figure out how to clip that stuff. But we're on Blue Sky as well at nocooldown.bsky.social, I believe, and we're there as well. So, you know, plenty of stuff to check out, plenty of stuff to look into, and of course, we're gonna keep it rolling with all the content. So make sure you check us out wherever we're available, rated 5 stars. And without further ado, we can get right into it, man. When are you ready?
Born ready.
Man, let's get it, man. Let's talk about it, man. Let's start with the main plate, the main course, the main story for today. We've got a huge update about a lot of plans that's coming down the pike for Xbox. Phil Spencer had to stop in over this past week to talk about a few things. Bloomberg picked up this big report, and there are a couple pieces that I definitely want to get to. But the first big piece here was the confirmation of an Xbox mobile handheld. An Xbox handheld platform or console will be on the way in some way, shape, or form in the future. He said it was some years out, but it is confirmed to be a real thing. Now, with how the space is, with how these things are kind of set up and set out, talk to me, man. How do you feel about an Xbox mobile handheld?
I am not gonna lie to you. I feel like they may be a little too late. They're way ahead of PlayStation. I'll tell you that right now. They're years ahead of PlayStation, which is funny because PlayStation was arguably one of the first people to start this trend up. But anyways, the reason I say they're kind of behind the 8 ball on this one is just the simple fact that, like, there's a Steam Deck, and that shit is only going to get cheaper as time goes on, right? Now, I don't want to sit here and pretend like Xbox can't come out with a competitive console. Steam Deck isn't the only console on the market either. You know, Asus has their own thing. There's a bunch of different options for people. But the reason I'm saying that it might not be, they may be a little slow on it, is because as somebody who's played on a Steam Deck, I've actually played Xbox Game Pass on a Steam Deck already. So if you're somebody like me, I'm probably gonna buy a Steam Deck before 2026. So like, why I'm gonna hold out for Xbox when their biggest thing is just, you know, Xbox Game Pass, as we know.
Yeah.
So what's stopping me, the consumer, from just getting a Steam Deck and just playing it on that? Now, I think there's still a little bit of space for them, you know, but I mean, it's just sad to see because Xbox is known for, like, they themselves admitted we lost a console generation. You know, we're not where we wanted to be. We did not win the hardware fight, and now they're joining this other hardware fight where they're competing with Nintendo, who is arguably, you know, top dog in this space. And then you have the Steam Deck, a really, really strong competitor. What can they do to differentiate themselves from those two competitors? They have to be cheaper than a Steam Deck, but also more powerful than a Switch. So they have that middle area to work with.
Yeah.
But again, there are other competitors already in that area because Asus is also making their own, and I think Logitech is making their own as well. There's other options too.
Yeah.
I don't think Xbox being multi-platform is a bad idea. I think they're going to do great in the cloud gaming space because I feel like they're really, really pushing hard for that. Sony tried to do it, and shout out to PlayStation Now.
That joint was cheeks. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Let's not even mincemeat that. Come on now.
It wasn't what it was. It wasn't what it was supposed to be. I remember playing I think it was like Darksiders 2, and that shit was cool for like 10 minutes. I'm like, damn, it's like I'm playing the game regular, and then that shit started lagging, and lagging in a single player game is a level of frustration.
Nasty.
I went and read a book after that. I didn't even have it. I had to get away from screens because I didn't know how to handle that information that was coming at me. I was like, this is bananas.
It's a great way to channel frustration, by the way. Great way to channel frustration. Reading is fundamental, y'all.
But at the same time, it's one of those things where you're just sitting there like, man, I really, really want Xbox to succeed. Actually, I can't. Well, when they start paying the bills, when hey, if you want me to succeed, I'm easily bought. But no. But in all seriousness, I think the issue that I kind of have is that Xbox just doesn't have I don't want to say the facilities, but it's like how can you compete in a market? It's not saturated yet. There's definitely room there, but what can you do differently to set yourself apart?
Yeah, that's the tough bargain. Like where do you fit in this spot? I will say this again, we all saw this coming. Again, as soon as the backbone was a thing for the PlayStation, as soon as there was even rumors of a potential mobile handheld that was coming out from Xbox like some time ago, we knew that the next frontier is going to be that handheld space, the mobile or close to mobile space, if it's not all the way mobile space. That's why I think Microsoft, again, they're pushing so hard to set up their own like mobile storefront. I think they've been having like legal problems or pushbacks with that. I can't remember what the full gist of it was, but there was pushbacks on them making and establishing their mobile storefronts everywhere, and I know that was a whole thing. But here's what it is for me. I have to agree with you that it is it's coming a bit too late to like, maybe jump over the competition and stuff, but there is salvageable value from this depending on how steep they want to make their value prop with the services attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's double like a Game Pass deal or something like that with either a Game Pass like super exclusive or some added feature that you get that you cannot receive with any other platform, which it could be a bit of a mix up when it comes to your overall strategy, or games lineup is absolutely stellar. There may be some exclusive handheld Xbox things that you can only get between that ecosystem, and everything else is kind of stunted, which again might be a bit of a compromise to what their overall strategy is now. It's a tough place to be, but it's like this is just like everyone has to kind of participate. This is like dressing out in the gym, bruh. It's like some people don't want to do it. Some people know they might not be really fit to do certain things in this area, but they got to dress out anyway. So they might as well just get along with it. You know what I'm saying? Get along with the whole program in this sense. Like I think PlayStation, as much as they probably want to avoid it at all costs and like not support anything unless people are going to vehemently buy it because PlayStation's name is attached to it, they're trending closer to making probably a full-blown handheld. Again, you saw the thing with the PlayStation Portal. People bought that like hotcakes just because it was a portal. I don't think that will be enough in the years to come because again, you have the Steam Deck, you have the ROG Strix, any Asus ROG product. Again, that's there. There's again a whole bunch of other lines and products that are handheld in nature, and the Switch 2 successor. Which is also an interesting point. Honestly, this was, again, a conversation I had with, shout out to Kendall. Shout out to Ken Knows It. We had a conversation about the Switch 2. And if they don't have a big enough leap, that could leave the market wide open for people to really jump on and say, okay, Nintendo isn't delivering what it's supposed to deliver. And there may be a lot more room for people to say, you know what, this is also affordable. This also has a library of great stuff. This also has like accessibility to certain things. maybe that handheld market shores, like it opens up a little bit more instead of shores up even further after the successor is announced and stuff like that. It depends on what the specs are. It depends on what the overall like jump is. If that jump isn't substantial enough from Nintendo, that could open up a lot more things in this market. I wouldn't say entirely, but enough of an opening to where PlayStation and Xbox are like, yo, we can't pass this up. We got to make sure we're ready and like jump in and take up whatever that they lost in that transfer, in that transaction, in that jump to the next generation. So this is one move that they're kind of like, you know, we kind of got to make this. Like, listen, Xbox has enough fuck you money to say we can build whatever we want. If people wanted blimps, we would build Microsoft blimps for people because that is how the market was. We're late to the market, but we're going to build some anyways because why not? Like, they've had not the best luck with certain things being either before their time or way after their time. Again, like HoloLens was something that was way before its time. Microsoft phone might have been received differently now. Who knows? There's less of an affinity to iPhone and stuff like that by the time they like released that. This one might be a little bit of a late to the game situation, but again, that's the big question. Where is the value substantiated in this section, in this part, in this introduction of a new handheld? I personally think it's cool. I think it's really cool. But again, my stance with my situation and my setup is I already have a PC, so I already have an Xbox. Again, there's a whole set of ads that came out today or yesterday. I was like, yo, this is an Xbox. An Xbox is an Xbox. A Series S is an Xbox. A TV is an Xbox. A tablet is an Xbox. My PC is an Xbox. If everything's an Xbox, why would I need more of the same when I can just have that same thing right there and then go pick up the stuff that you don't have coverage for? You know, where is the value prop in that? And that's gonna be tough, because do you go full on and say we're gonna make a technical marvel, we're gonna rival the Steam Deck, and now you have to rival that and their entire library of games and their entire potential to to mod and for lack of a better term, you know what I'm saying, get some extra things in a library that may or may not supposed to be there. Like, you're fighting against a lot of different things in functionality and technical ability, and it's just that's a hard sell, you know. Or do you lean on the games library, where it's like, okay, at some point you're gonna have to make this change and say, yo, okay, what games should we keep for ourselves and what games should we, you know, give out to the rest of the public, you know, and give out to the other platforms to help raise our funds up, basically. Because at this point you're an individual exclusive platform, and you're also a huge third-party publisher at this stage. And this brings me to my next point. One of the bigger additional points from this whole update that Phil Spencer gave was he essentially said there's no red tape. There is no more red tape for any of these big titles and any title on Xbox. He says that basically there's no hindrance on what could show up on another platform. Things could be on PlayStation, on Nintendo, things that you might not expect. Time will tell to see what actually shows up, but who knows where this could end up, what games could end up. It looks like it's a wide open door for, you know, Xbox games to kind of cross that forbidden plane and make it to another platform. How do you feel about that?
I think it's not a bad idea. You know, like, I think it's a pretty smart idea when it comes to like things like Halo Infinite, for example. How could a Halo Infinite new season look if you threw that bad boy on PlayStation? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Certain games I just don't think will survive this day and age if they're not cross-platform, and it's mostly, if not all, multiplayer games. Mm-hmm. I would love to see a Halo, a Gears of War, things like of that nature, yeah. And then maybe time releases for things like Doom and things like Skyrim, mm-hmm. or well, I should say Elder Scrolls. Like, there's ways they could go about it that would quite literally make them, honestly, I think it would be great for their brand, because as much as an Xbox fanboy would hate to see Halo on a PlayStation, it would just make your lobbies more fuller. It would have more people to play on, you could play with. Mm-hmm. And on top of all those things, it would just give your games more life and more money to the company making the games. Therefore, being able, hopefully, they would put that money towards better development, you know, as long as it's not lining the pockets of like 7 dudes. That is what I think. But I could also see like it hurting their hardware sales. But I don't think anybody who's bought an Xbox Series X is going to switch over to PlayStation next year. I just don't see that happening. Mm. And not to get political, but if Xboxes are made in-house, like if let's say tariffs get put into place, because that's something that's happening in the real world.
Mhm.
Would the consoles be cheaper because they're an American company? Because Xbox is, I don't know if they're produced in America, and I don't know if they would have to ship, if they would have to pay the tariffs if they're made here in the country. They might have a leg up on the competition, but of course, that is in a realm I have no knowledge of. But that is something that to consider.
Yeah, apparently there's final assembly, according to all the random Googles. Final assembly is apparently in the United States, but manufacturing is from a lot of different places across the world. China, Mexico, Hungary, a lot of different areas to where their parts are made, but the final assembly apparently happens in the United States. So it depends on what that roll-on cost is. And again, there have been points before where there have been kind of business subsidies and kind of halts on any inflation effects on the consoles themselves. There's been instances in the past, like I think it was pandemic times, where they were like, they kind of put a super hold on basically incurring any additional markups on the consoles in an effort to sell them more. Like there was like a deal struck between console providers and console manufacturers and the government to at least hold those like knock-on effects to the console off. So there could be another thing like that there. We don't know for sure. It depends. My thing on the no red tape thing is, one, absolutely agree with you, Win. Some things absolutely must be cross-platform or multi-platform to survive. Many multiplayer things that have a healthy ecosystem, again, them acquiring COD, just their strategy that's been budding for a while, and them acquiring COD was kind of like the biggest like splash of water to the face of like, damn, we got to make sure we have content set up in a way that, again, it's on a constant cycle. It's on a consistent self-sustaining loop for as long as possible. So I think a lot of these things are getting a second look. Like it's a very, very weird time, bro. It's a very, very weird time because more and more, again, Xbox is telling us about the ecosystem where like, yeah, you can play anything everywhere. You want Xbox to be everywhere. Okay, cool, great. And I know this is an old adage and shit, but if you're for everyone, you're for no one, that type of thing. So for the people who may not be looking as deep into it or see the value upon further reflection, if people are seeing Xbox titles everywhere, Xbox exclusives everywhere, if they see Gears of War and Halo on Xbox and stuff, where is the incentive to actually get Xbox exclusive hardware to support that? It's a paradigm shifter. It's like, okay, maybe that the paradigm's not actually shifted, but it's like it's a different train of thought to what traditional console sales and console pushing is like. And I'm just like, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around it, and how will consumers wrap their brain around it? You know what I mean? Like, how do you? Yeah, go ahead.
No, so like, cause I'm hearing what you're saying, but I just thought of this, like, maybe this is the sampler, like, oh, I'm gonna let PlayStation people pay to get Halo, right? $60, you get Halo, you play it, whatever. You're having a whole bunch of fun. New Halo gonna drop. I'm definitely buying Halo 2, and then you realize, well, I'm on PlayStation. I have to pay for Halo the game, and I gotta pay for PlayStation Plus, because no way are they gonna put Halo on PlayStation Plus, correct?
Absolutely not.
Now Xbox Magenta. I don't know what the next Xbox is gonna be called, but they don't like to use numbers.
They better bring 720 out, bro. I think it's gonna be like a Series 2 or some shit, or 2X. So Series Y.
Xbox Apothecary drops, right? And now you got the decision of buying a PlayStation 6 or a Xbox Apothecary. If I go and get Game Pass, I don't have to pay for online anymore. I will get Halo bundled in with Xbox Ultimate. Why am I going to stay on PlayStation when the games that I'm enjoying are all going to be essentially one subscription service away? Maybe that's their angle. Maybe their angle is, let's get them to
play.
It's a super, super long play, but it could eventually pay out. But of course, this all relies on people really, really, really fucking with their games. People have to be a huge, like, you have to be a big Halo fan, and they have to be coming out with some gas content,
bro. Like,
but with Xbox owning essentially so many different IPs, Like I could not imagine myself stopping my Xbox Game Pass because there's so many games and so many people making games for that service. It makes sense for somebody who's like, man, I don't have money to be buying games all the time. Why don't I just hop on Game Pass? You know, it's a long play that could be game changing, but that of course all has to come down to them making good gaming products, which unfortunately they have not done so yet. You know what I'm saying? Like Redfall happened, you know, Starfield happened.
Facts.
Like, Hi-Fi Rush happened, then they canceled it. Like this is the problem. It's a good play if they make good games, but they have not been able to do that. So that's why PlayStation is cooking, because at the end of the day, I know Spider-Man 3, I don't even know if they're making a Spider-Man 3, but if they're making a Spider-Man 3, I could bet my $20 in my pocket right now that's just gonna get above an 8, and I'm pretty sure I'll walk away with my money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, and that's it. All history is written by the good games. Honestly, the amount of territory you can cover with the clout of a great gaming experience pays dividends. It pays dividends. PlayStation has been able to do the things they do, build such an insurmountable lead during the PS2 era. You know what I'm saying? They did so much good work in the PS2 that everybody excused all the bullshit that they dealt with in PS3 era. They did all the Lizard Squad, all the server shutdowns, all the bad internet, all the lack of proper party chat, all that stuff, because there were some good games on the PS2 and that carried over. So there were some good games on the PS3, and that was enough, bro. And again, not to fully discredit whatever else is going on, this has happened for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The mistakes and the shortcomings and the failings of these gaming companies can immediately be swept under the rug if you drop good games. That's really it. How do you think Nintendo's like really just been untouchable for most of their time? They make solid games, at least solid enough to the rest of us is perfect for everybody else who's a pure hardcore Nintendo fan. They don't care. They're gonna take whatever. And all the other things that they do on the outside, like sue Power for $30,000, like that's it, but they just still want to sue them for the ability to throw a ball and catch a Pokemon or catch a monster, and they assume that's automatic infringement. They can do all these other things as long as they just drop another Pokemon to some of these hardcore fans, or drop a decent, you know what I'm saying, next game or whatever it's called, or Metroid Prime 4 hits. People are like, oh yeah, we in, bro. It's Nintendo. The ability to create great game experiences affords them the ability to do other things. In the eyes of the consumer, as long as you make good games, who gives a fuck? I'm going to play them. Let's figure out how. That's what it boils down to. And it's funny how it always boils down to that. It's like the point of this entire thing of like video games in the industry, like they should be good. But I digress. This is I agree with you, a super long play. That's a very interesting thought. That's one that's very plausible. In this last stretch of time, last decade, they have lost. The last 10-15 years, they have lost. And this could be the next play to get them back in position to where I think in terms of service, they're a superior service to PlayStation Plus. Hardware, again, that can be a debatable thing. Whenever the next generation comes in, we'll see what happens, but whatever. But if the games are actually there and they're using this as a ploy to like say, hey, we're casting a wide net, everybody, this is what Xbox does, this is what we do, man, we actually make good games, man. Gears of War, this new Gears of War on PlayStation is hitting. The next Gears of War, nah, that's an exclusive, brother. Bring that on back. Subscribe to the Game Pass or get out of here, bruh. And listen, again, in the ideal world for Xbox, that could force their hand so much that an Xbox Game Pass is on PlayStation, which is insanity. That sounds insane. That might never happen. That sounds like it's such an impossibility in my mind right now. But if the tides turned and they delivered it on experiences that were so quality that it could be denied, they have a lot of power back in their hands to dictate more terms and say, hey, this next one, yeah, we're keeping that. We're putting that here. Again, before they axed Tango Gameworks unceremoniously, I was like, bro, if that hits, if they're pushing that out to PlayStation and then the Switch, which they did. They pushed it out on multi-platforms. They did. And like, yo, a lot of people rock with Hi-Fi Rush. You know what? Let's make the second one timed exclusive. Let's get on what PlayStation been doing for the longest time. We're gonna time exclusive that one. How y'all did this with Final Fantasy for all these years? We're gonna do that to you. 2 years. 2 years time exclusive. Come to Xbox and get it, or else wait 2 years. And I don't think people who might be partial or more partial to them over time, I don't think they would be as resistant to that call. They would be like, you know what, damn, it's a 2 years, a long wait, man. Console people might not want to wait that long. PC people, we could wait that long all day. That, you know what I'm saying? People waited 14 years for Red Dead Redemption. That shit don't matter. But for everybody else, there might be a bit more room to persuade. And I think no red tape for right now is a bit jarring. Absolutely. But if the play is like, if it's as you described, when I think that can be the big swap where they gain a lot of momentum that they were so close to really reaching during the Xbox 360 era. That was the closest they've been to running the show. And I really think that if this play, if what you said, you know, has weight, which I think honestly that's very plausible, then we're in for an interesting ride to see what they pick and choose to say, you know, here's multi-platform, here's what we're building for us. Or are we going to say everything is multi-platform and then taking some stuff back for us? It's going to be a very interesting time to see what the choices that they make are on those things. One more quick bit about this Phil Spencer update. There was something that he mentioned about acquiring new studios. Yes, they're apparently still in the market to acquire some new people, which is interesting. And there was a lot of actual interest and perk up from studios in China, studios more in the East. He said, you know, Microsoft wanted to diversify their teams by looking more to China as that whole entire development scene is building up and budding. And he's like, yeah, no, let's try and look to that side. Again, they've had partnerships with Tencent before, the mobile Age of Empires that's dropped recently, that was them. Just kind of looking more to that side for a more global perspective. How do you feel about him saying that?
It makes sense. But again, it's a lot. And I don't know how it will go, you know, because I still think mobile gaming is such a huge and important market, which we'll even talk about how big it's been in a close story. But I do think that it is important. But again, this is so ambitious, and maybe they're just playing 4D chess, and I'm just, you know, I'm not caught up to speed, but I'm just like, oh, bro, can we focus on like one thing first? Like, that's just my biggest thing. Is like, where are the games, brother? Like, that's the most important thing to me. Is like, I need proof, you know? Because if you would have told me, like, what I want to say when they were first trying to acquire Activision, that they weren't going. If you would have told me when they were doing that shit that they were gonna be like, oh my god, I can't think of the word for it. But like, if you would have told me back then that Xbox in a couple of years would be dominating the market, I would have believed you because of how aggressive they were when trying to acquire all these different companies. But it still has yet to prove to me that it was even worth the money. So I'm not gonna hold my breath. I think that, again, they will always have the potential because of the sheer amount of money they have. But I don't know. It's yet to really move me.
This is my one thing. If you're looking more towards the East for that, why did you chop Tango Gameworks? Why did you chop Tango Gameworks? What was the point if you want to diversify your studios and offer unique perspectives and abilities to create? Why did you drop Tango Gameworks? Why? That's the only question I got. Why? What was the point there?
Why, SpongeBob? Why?
Like, dead ass, bro. It's funny. It's funny to see them say, again, there's another part in the article where he says, you know, the Xbox business has never been healthier. Yeah, after you cut 2,500 jobs over the past year, for one. And for two, the fact that you're coming back around to say things like, oh, like, this is literally like, oh man, I missed having this in my life so much. I need it back after you were the one that purposely cut it off in the first place. Like, damn, I missed my foot. I need a new foot. My man, you chopped it off. You chopped it. So that it's just funny, man. I love how, like, again, the business talk. And the business talk sometimes doesn't match the actual track record of what they've done. And it's like, bro, I mean, we remember. Pepper's Farm remembers, dog. We would, like, again, like, it's just funny. It's just funny seeing that in real time. I hope they can properly diversify. I hope they can properly find the point between enabling these studios who are doing great things and building up their profiles and bringing us great experiences, and not absolutely casting them aside if certain things go wrong in terms of financial slight turmoil, or profitability is not as high as you'd want it to be in a certain moment or a certain quarter. That's my hope, is that people don't get, fucked over. But again, with them rocking with China, I feel like in Chinese studios, there will be, some slight more protections. We'll see. I don't know how full-blown acquisitions will go in that sense. Maybe. I just hope that the actual interest, chemistry, and the longevity of studios is prioritized in a sense, so they can do what they do best and not worry if their shit's going to be cut out after one bad quarter that the entire conglomerate had.
Yeah.
Really it, man. It's really it. But yeah, speaking of which, we can slide on to some other stuff, man. I know you mentioned the mobile stuff. We can get right to the mobile stuff right now. Pokemon TCG, Pokemon trading card game Pocket, man. This thing has released over the last few weeks, and it's dropped into wildfire, man. It made like $12 million in 4 days. It's been dropping all over the place. People have been making memes. People have been opening packs. People have been battling. Features are coming. It's been an absolute splash since it's dropped in October 30th. And I've been playing a lot of it. When I'm sure you've been playing a lot of it. You've been collecting. You've been the card collector. Honestly, that should have been the other intro. That should have been the alternate. I might say that for next week. But you've been collecting cards like crazy in real life and on this game. But give me your impressions. How do you feel about TCG as an experience so far?
So I want to say the beginning of this month, my cousin and my brother got me into the actual Pokemon card game. So I was a huge fan of. I got a deck, and me and them have been playing nonstop. It's been a lot of fun. And I was a little concerned because I was like, wow, so this new Pokemon game is going to come out. I wonder what it's going to be like, because it is, if you play the original Pokemon trading card game, is a bit more complex than the one that we have on the app. So I was really afraid that it wasn't going to translate super well, because it was going to be a good Pokemon game can last you a bit. Me and my brother were playing, and it was like more 15 minutes plus for a match. So like that was one of my main concerns, was like, are people gonna want to be on their phone for 15 full minutes? And of course, as somebody who's played Hearthstone, TFT, I played some mobile games in my time. There are people who, there is an audience for that, but how will this meet with a casual audience? Because that's what they were marketing towards. Was like, this is a casual game. Every day, log in, open up 2 packs. That's all you really got to do. Like that's how they marketed at the beginning. They barely talked about battling each other. They really were just like, it's a trading card game. Like you're just opening packs and maybe trading them with people. When I started playing the game and I got into battling, I am officially hooked. It is actually really, really dangerous. I get home from work, and I used to watch TikToks or watch TV when I'm eating food. Now, like, I remember I got home from work the other day, and the first thing I did was like, let me see if I can get these emblems real quick. Let me see if I can knock out these missions, these quests. It's a lot of fun, and it's quite addicting. They have captured what it's like to be to play the Pokemon trading card game. It works really, really, really well, to the point where it's like, damn, there's been times where I had to catch myself. I wanted to go on PC because I want to be able to play it on my PC, so that I could just like never do anything productive ever again. But it is a lot of fun. I have been playing. I check it every day. I have not missed a pack, and I don't think I ever will miss a pack. I've opened up more than 30 plus packs. I myself have not spent any money. Don't nobody look at me like crazy, like, whoa, what's dropping money on the game? People have sent me money to open packs. It was a birthday gift. Do not look at me, because I'm not going to tell people, no, I'm not going to use this money to open up packs. That's what they wanted me to use it for. All right, so get off my nuts. But it's a rush when you get that EX, when you get those cool, and the designs are so fucking pretty. My God, is it a pretty game? Like honestly,
Bro,
they knocked it out of the park with this one. Truthfully,
dog, I have been out of the loop on Pokemon for a little while, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be real with you. I haven't been into Pokemon for a solid like couple years now. Like I've been in and out. I'll see a couple things and blah blah blah, but speak on it, talk about it. Because again, in my core, of course, I'm a Pokemon fan, absolutely. But the last few years, I just haven't been with it. It's whatever. But dog, this is the exact spoonful of fentanyl that I needed to get hooked on this thing again. And I hate to say it like that, but this is absolutely addictive, bro. The card pulling absolutely found a great way to make it look great, to make it look good, feel good. Absolutely surprised by just how intuitive a lot of it is. I think the UI is pretty solid. Again, the pack opening stuff just really cool to be able to do it. And again, everybody's gonna have their little gotcha elements with the energy and stuff. I feel like I'm not emboldened to spend too much money on that because I'm low-key like a stingy bastard. But you know, again, to each his own. Everybody's their own. I don't feel emboldened to spend money on that like crazy because I mean I have my cards and there's still a lot of things you can do with or without that energy. Again, there's battles you can get into for the free ski, no energy involved. Trades will be coming at some point, I think January 2025, so that's going to be on the way. Again, the solo battles and stuff, the solo missions, there's events. Between all that and the card opening stuff, like there's good content in there. There's good content you can get into and escape into with all of that, which is nice. It's really nice. And honestly, it's just, dang, Pokemon did it again. Like, what were the last two like really close to transformational or beyond transformational apps that people were like, damn, this is really good? Pokemon Go and Pokemon TCG are definitely up there in those conversations.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying?
Those are Pokemon Go. I think was the last one that had this level of an impact. I want to say honorable mention, but I don't even know if I would put it in the list. Would be Pokemon Unite. Because I feel like that also was a pretty big. Fairs, man. The first time they was in MOBA territory, honestly, yes, I would absolutely agree with that. Like, but yeah, no, this is a lot like Go. The only difference is that like a lot of people didn't play Go because I don't know anybody who really didn't play Go like that. But a lot of people fell off of Go because they're like, I'm not trying to go outside all the damn time. Whereas like this game, like quite literally, all you have to do, it is like the lowest of it's the lowest of lifts I've seen in a while, where all you have to do is like, oh, you want to participate? Open your phone, click one of these packs, open it up. You have done your due diligence. I'll see you in 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, if you wake up, open a pack, and before you go to sleep, open another pack. That's it. That's all that requires. And you can have a lot of fun. And the thing is that there's quests and things that you can do to really like level it. Because I've opened up, I want to say more than, I don't know what, I think I'm at like 600 cards total, but outside of the $10 that I got sent to spend on this game, I want to say I've opened up like 10 packs 4 times, one of them being I paid for. Everything else was like money that I got from playing the game, like hourglasses that I got from playing the game. If you just play it every now and then, you got it. Like you're gonna get you're gonna get the hourglasses you need to get shit. I even did the calculations for it. How many because you get like 4 hourglasses a day if you do your dailies, which is literally log in, open a pack, wonder pick, open a second pack. There is 4 energy. Every month you should have enough hourglasses to be able to open up a 10 pack, like a straight 10 pull. Like every month you'll get 10 extra packs on top of the 2 you get a day.
No, literally, bro. There's that. You don't have to overspend. You don't have to do nothing crazy. You don't have to open up your purse all the way and stuff and really jump into it, bro. Like it's so much. And you know what? It's so good. I'm opening a pack as we speak, and this pack is fucking garbage, man. Oh, I got an Eevee though. We'll take that. I got an Eevee and a Golurk. We'll take that. Add some glimmer on them and stuff. This is good. And I like the customization options as well, man. I like you can showcase you can do the whole side case of your deck. You can do the coin. You can do a lot of different things with it. I think this is a smash hit, bro. This is a smash hit. It's doing well. I haven't played a phone game in so long.
Yeah.
I haven't had a game saved on my phone in so long. This is a very welcome change of pace, man. Making Pokemon palatable again is a very, very like stark thing. This obviously is a big step to helping that go along and be fulfilled. That MMO is a whole nother thing that we got to talk about in time when we get more information about it. But this right here, this TCG stuff is mwah, 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 beautiful. Chef's kiss, no notes.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I'm having a lot of fun, and on top of all this stuff, one thing that I think is really, really important that I love about the Pokemon trading card game that I fell in love with when I started playing with my cousins and stuff, is that the Pokemon trading card game brings a whole new life to the game, because you're playing with Pokemon that you normally wouldn't use in the games. And that's like my favorite thing about this whole thing, is that like I would have never picked up Butterfree. Butterfree would have never made it on my 6-man in any capacity. Never would I have been like, yeah, this is my favorite thing.
Mewtwo, let's go. I'm so serious right now. I just got Mewtwo. I'm so finally.
That's so funny.
I was waiting on this dude. Oh my gosh. I was waiting on the son of a bitch, bro. Side note, I was talking to Kai like 3 days ago, and this man was like, dang, I got Mewtwo EX. He did the whole freaking, he showed me the whole screenshots of him breaking through the lab and stuff like that. I'm like, screw you, buddy. Screw you. You know what I'm saying? Finally, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Continue on.
That's amazing. But yeah, like that's my favorite thing about this entire about this game, is that at the end of the day, it's giving you a new love for Pokemon that you would have never used in your life. Because I would have never put Butterfree in my 6-man, but I have Butterfree in my grass deck, and it is an amazing fucking character. It heals everybody for 20, every grass Pokemon for 20 health. It is coming clutch like so often. But like that's the beauty about it, man. You get a new appreciation for Pokemon you never would have looked at.
Oh, absolutely, bro. Like I 100% agree with that, man. Again, and the fact that some of these are like challenge based as well. Like some of the solo missions are like they're required to use specific type decks. Like so, I'm changing my deck almost every time out when I'm doing the solo challenges, and when I'm seeing other people use different builds. I'm like I never used anybody who had really poison type Pokemon, but I got a lot of poison type people in some of the decks that I have, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna use it, bro. This Koga card might come in handy. Like you never know, bro. I'm about to throw it in there. So that's really, really cool. I'll let you know one of my decks. Where are some of the Pokemon that I was using? Like, was it Cotton Bee? I can't even remember the name of one of them. Like, hold on, let me show you one of my testing decks. Let me run through it real quick. Let me see. I had a Sizzlipede. I mean, Rapidash I did use. I'm not going to use that one. That's a bad example. But Diglett, never used that nigga.
Yeah.
I never used that nigga. Sparrows, never used that nigga like that. I ain't gonna lie. Farfetch'd, I only had him for the specific thing, but I never used him like that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. And he's one of the best cards in the game right now, actually. Like he's 40 damage for 1 energy.
Facts.
Off rip, like that's crazy. That's a lot.
High octane stuff right there, bro. Like you need those. You need those. I'm about to switch. I'm about to flip my rarity, bro. There's one I want to get. I want to go from Weedle to Kakuna. To Kakuna's evolution. I can't remember. It was Butterfree. Yeah, Butterfree. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I need a Butterfree in my life. I need a Butterfree because that Butterfree card looked actually seriously like.
No, wait. Butterfree's Metapod.
Oh, Metapod. Actually, you're right.
Kakuna is Beedrill, I think.
Beedrill. Thank you.
We are not big Pokemon.
Yeah,
we're not the Pokemon fiends.
I'm
a fan, but we don't. They're gonna cook us in the comments. Hey, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Damn, I'm sorry. I hear it now. I hear it now, man. You picked the wrong Pokemon. All right, man. Chill on me, bro. But like, Whimsicott, that was the one. I was using Whimsicott a good amount. I was using Seal and Dugong.
Oh,
I was using Seal and Dugong for a solid.
Me too.
And my boy Cloyster, Shelder and Cloyster, I was using that because he has shell armor, bruh. And he just takes like 20 damage off or 10 damage off of any attack that comes his way. I was like, bro, again, Pokemon, I would generally never use maybe one time and throw them in the PC box. Like they're going into box 1. You know what I'm saying? They're out of here. But I like the fact that there's TCG enables you to really think about the usage of Pokemon differently, the different abilities and stuff like that. That's super cool. I really, really enjoy that. I will say, for one, there are things that do piss me off about this game. Gardevoir, step to the front. Gardevoir, may you never have eternal peace. May there be only turmoil in your life. Because how many times you fed alley oops to Mewtwo with how many psychic cards? Like you were CP3 and Mewtwo was, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, bro. Mewtwo is not Blake Griffin, bro. This is not Lob City. You cannot do this on an everyday basis, bro. How many times I've seen this man have one energy. He gets subbed in. I'm like, oh, you only got one energy. And I forget the Gardevoir is right there. He went from 1 to 4 and beat the dog shit out of me in one go. I was like, all right, man, come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I've seen it with Misty. I've seen Misty with the water ones. They're doing hella extra swaps and stuff. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, man. But OP, but nothing, to me at least, there are some things that it still feels achievable. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, like the coin toss stuff, I feel like, oh, if you don't go first, you feel like you're always at a disadvantage in other Pokemon situations or Pokemon experiences. In this game, sometimes I like to go first. I really prefer to go first, honestly. I mean, no, I prefer to go second. I prefer to go second.
I was gonna say, like, you're a bold man for saying that.
No. My fault. They might cook me again. What do you mean you go first?
like statistically speaking.
Yeah, relax, guys, relax. We're just excited about TCG. The Mewtwo's still in my mind. My fault. I prefer to go second because the energy attaches and I still have room to do what I need to do. Like, I'd rather have the energy first because I want to have, I'd rather have a decent HP person with a high attack stat, and if it's in my card, I'm going to put him down first and just get a hit off, because whatever else is in my deck will be stronger, and I can just set up for that. I'd rather hit you first and feel comfortable knowing that I got you, I tagged you first, rather than wait. I'd rather having the first turn and having to wait for whatever somebody else does. You know, because I feel like a lot can just develop in the second turn rather than just you being first and putting your stuff out. But that's just me. But beyond, again, the people that absolutely piss me off and all stuff like that, absolutely wonderful game. Absolutely wonderful. It's got me into, it made me find my old Pokemon card stash. We were sitting here a couple of days ago talking, me, him, and somebody else. We were talking just about all the cards that we had. I showed them all of my old cards that were just lying around the stash. Again, just old Mewtwo's and everything, cards from like 2007, 1990s, the 2000s, like old ass cards, and it just reinvigorated my interest and intrigue and love for the game. So TCG, fantastic stuff, fantastic.
Yeah, the only thing I would like for them to do, I think first turn needs a little bit of a buff, because it is quite literally when you're turn one, unless your deck revolves around stalling or something, like it is rough. Like even if you just let me put energy on without attacking, I think it would be way better, like it would make me not dread going first. I've seen people will literally be like, oh, we're going first, like I'm ready to give up if need be. I'm ready to concede if one thing goes wrong, because it is very rough when you got like a Farfetch'd looking right at you turn 2, and you're like, I know I'm gonna get hit with 40 and there's nothing I can do to stop that. Even when you do get hit with 40, you're still down 1 energy compared to everybody else. Like it's tough. It is tough,
bro. It's seriously tough. But again, I agree. Outside of that though, just hats off. One more thing. Make coin flips actually random. Bro, I don't give a fuck. Just auto flip it. No, we do not need tech. Do not make me swipe. Please. Do not make me swipe.
Please.
Leave it to the harder cards.
I don't know. I've never been to a tournament, so I don't know how coin flipping works in an actual real deal tournament. There may be a rule where like the people flip themselves. I don't know because I'm not there. But I think if this is a full true casual game, I shouldn't have to, because I know the tech. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. I know how to get consistent head flips.
Hey, tell me, bro, because I've been bullshitting. Hey, let me know.
Hey, the fastest flick possible. Like you literally, like with my index finger, I just hit that shit mad fast, damn near every time.
Word. The rest of y'all didn't hear that. Bro. If y'all face me, y'all didn't hear that.
But like I literally seen somebody post on YouTube. They were like, yeah, apparently the people in Japan have figured out how to get heads consistently every time.
Nasty.
And
word.
I think that shit is just, I think it's stupid. I think it's not truly random if people are getting percentage wise. Like look at the percentages, Gabe. Like I know y'all got those percentages. Look up how often somebody hits heads in the game and tell me that shit is more than fucking 50%. Like on the first flip, stop playing with us. We're not stupid. We see the shit. Come on, bro.
Facts, bro. Facts. That is that's insane. That needs to fix up, bro, because I literally had to stop using Marowak because of that, because my coin flips are so garbage. I could not use Marowak. I had to get rid of that whole deck. I was like, bro, I'm saving all of my like my love for you, and when you come on stage, you just I can't flip for you, bro. It's auto flip, man. It's auto flip it. Damn. Insane. But all right, man. TCG, you did your damn thing, but we can slide on here. Let's talk about the quick bites, just a bunch of shorter stories. First of all, we want to give a massive show of respects and rest in peace to Tony Todd, man. If y'all didn't know,
Yes.
Tony Todd did pass away a couple of days ago, man. Just fucking titan, bro. Absolutely, like, insane. Bro did so much work across movies, TV, video games. Again, most recently, Venom and Spider-Man 2. Oh my gosh, he was a huge officer and like a really cool piece of the Final Destination series. He was in Black Ops 2, he was in Back 4 Blood, he was in Half-Life 2, Dota 2. Oh yeah, he's gonna be in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. He's gonna be a character in that game as well when it comes out. But age 69 is gone, man. Just want to show respects. When you can say a few words if you want as well here, but yeah, rip Tony Todd.
No, Tony Todd was an amazing performer. You will be missed. It is really sad to see you go. Your work will live on. Like, just one of those voices that, like, when you hear it, you're just like the late Lance, man. Like, it's just one of those things where you're just like, there's a void and don't know when it will ever be filled, if it will ever be filled.
Bro, it's insane, man. It's like we lost so many fucking stars this year. Actual trailblazers and like road pavers for any of the entertainment that we've consumed, especially from the context of black actors and black media and black performances in the greater arts, you know. So it's just it's wild seeing it. I forgot he was in Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman when he was the principal, or Principal Clarks and stuff like that. Like, oh, it's crazy.
Oh,
he was in that movie as well. Like, damn, like there was so much stuff, and you look back and it's like, damn, man had a really long career in so many different branches and aspects and turns. Like, it's insane. But listen, the man's legacy will never be, refuted or watered down, man. Shout out to Tony Todd, absolute legend. All right, we can slide on here and talk about Ubisoft, bruh. As if they couldn't be in any more shit. Apparently, Ubisoft has launched their first ever blockchain game with NFTs costing up to $50,000. Again, this was from probably a couple of weeks ago. It was the NFT, the tactical NFT battler Champions Tactics Grimoire Chronicles. That game is, again, it's out. It's on PC. It's free to start it though. But these figurines got to cost some real money, man. Anywhere from $7,000 to $64,000. Some of these things will cost. Ugh. How do you feel,
man? Didn't Ubisoft make Skylanders? Is that them?
They might have. Hold on.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, that's them.
Activision, Blizzard, Square Enix, Neo Play.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, like, I swear they had something like they've done this figurine bullshit before.
They did. But, they did. The Skylanders figures are yeah. I do see it though. It's not them. It wasn't Ubisoft.
No, yeah. Wow, Ubisoft. Again, like, I honestly don't really have much to say because I feel like every week has been I've talked so much shit about Ubisoft. I don't have anything reloaded at this point. Every week I have something. I have to find new creative ways to shit on you because every fucking week you do dumb shit. It's bananas. I don't know what else I could say about them at this point. Like, sure, man, whatever. I fucking hate you guys. Like, next, because I literally am running out of things to say about them because they suck so much.
Yeah, I have nothing more to say except, hey, stand up, bro. Have some self-respect, man. You're floundering on the floor. Get up. This ain't who you are, bro. Or maybe it is. We were just fooled all along. I don't know. Ridiculousness, man. Ridiculousness. But we can slide on here and talk about something that is a little bit better, a little bit brighter for when. We have an official rating somewhere out there for Divinity Original Sin 2. Larian Studios has officially gotten a rating for Divinity Original Sin 2 for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. So we have some solid works that it will be on the way, probably sooner than we think. How are you feeling, Len?
I think that's awesome. I actually really enjoyed this game. It's the game that made me fall in love with Larian, and I remember sitting there playing it and being like, wow, like, this is bananas. I can't believe a game like this exists. Like it's the feeling people had when they were playing Baldur's Gate is what I felt like when I was playing Divinity 2. Now, mind you, I also had a lot of fun with the mods that were in the game because I was playing it on PC. But the fact that it's on console, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, I believe they had cross save across platforms. So like if that's the case, then you may be able to like literally take your Steam Deck, play the game from like, let's say you started on your PC, put it on your Steam Deck, take it from your Steam Deck, play it on your TV, play on your PlayStation. If that's the case, man, power to them. Really, really amazing game. If you're somebody who played Baldur's Gate but didn't play any of the Divinity games, I highly recommend Divinity 2. It takes place years before Divinity 1, so that you don't have to worry about not knowing the lore. Really, really, really recommend it.
Yeah, that's real, man. That's real. Gotta give you the palate cleanser after Ubisoft, man. Gotta give you the palate cleanser after Ubisoft.
No, yeah.
I
Thank you, because I hate them with a passion that would rival. I don't know. Like, I just don't know. Why do they keep coming up on our goddamn topics? And why is it always negative? Why is it? They have not done a good thing in a year, I think.
Hey, it's wild. But hey, listen, Divinity versus 2. Divinity. Comment.
Jesus.
Shoot, man. But we can slide on here. We can talk about Marvel Rivals, which is on the way very much sooner than we think, on December 6th. And we did get in a trailer, we saw in the background of a trailer some extra character. I was like, whoa, who is that? And it turned out that Moon Knight is on the way, on top of Psylocke being added. I think that was where we saw the original Moon Knight footage in the background of him, you know what I'm saying, foraying into the battle. But Moon Knight's on the way, man. We saw a bit of his skill set, a bit of his attacks, and then his look, which will be dropping on December 6th, man. He's part of the launch roster. How you feeling?
I think that's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting Moon Knight, to be honest with you. I've seen the gameplay. He looks pretty snazzy. He looks really interesting. I'm excited to see what he's gonna feel like. Honestly, I'm excited to get my hands on this game. Like, it's every week I feel like it's just like, all right, cool. Like, I'm officially my gaming library is officially closed for the year. There are no more major releases that are going to be joining the roster for 2024. But this is a game that is like, yo, I'm very excited to play. Like, I'm waiting on this game. I don't know if this will be free to play, or I don't know if I have to pay for it, but it will be added. This is the last thing I'm looking forward to this year. So I'm excited, and I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Yeah, 100. I think it is free to play. I could be wrong, but I am like 70% sure this is free to play. But yeah, nah, listen, that's a really good addition. I ain't gonna lie. I like Moon Knight, and his powers, like his skill set, looked really, really cool. I like the portal opening with a bunch of damn hands like raining down like comets. That was dope. So I think that's gonna be a really, really interesting set of skills and additions to the map. I wonder what his pairs, like his team skill activations, are gonna be with everybody else. I'm interested to see what those are.
Good question.
But yeah, I really, really, really like the look of Moon Knight, man. Just looks super. This art style is cold, man. This art style just is entirely cold, and honestly, I have no complaints with anybody in this art style. It looks really, really enticing. The characters look super, super cool. Yeah, we're just gonna see how he fits into the fold. I think it was like, what he said, 270 for his total health. So he's gonna be, he said he was in a dual class, be a little bit, a little bit light, but still pack a punch. I'm interested. I think if he bodes well and the gameplay bodes well, he might be moving up the priority list in terms of people who I main. So we'll see, man. But December 6th, man. December 6th. Abandon Overwatch. All right, we can slide on here. We can talk about some movement in terms of the gaming scene and some job movement, and specifically the movement of Marvel Wolverine. The game director, Brian Horton, he's left Insomniac and is now leading Perfect Dark at Xbox, man. Now Wolverine is now being led by the team and the old leaders behind Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Marcus Smith and Mike Daly. They're going to be switching on to this, and the person who was again leading the charge on Marvel's Wolverine game is now at Perfect Dark. Chops and changes, but different story. How you feel about that?
Wait, so you're telling me wait. So the Wolverine director's in Perfect Dark. The Perfect Dark director is now Wolverine, or
no? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Marvel's Wolverine director is now at Perfect Dark.
Okay.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart leads are now working on Wolverine. That's what happened.
That's a pretty solid trade.
Bro, I'm like, listen,
It's not bad because I don't know. Like I loved how fun Rift Apart was. That's the thing, is like I think that game was so fucking fun. It's not even funny. But like it does suck to have a director leave for sure. And I don't know. And again, we don't know if this is good for Perfect Dark because we haven't played Wolverine. But I don't know if Ratchet and Clank has something to do with this. This might be heat. It might be heat.
Listen,
it might be heat.
I'm just saying. I'm not gonna lie, man. I get the chops and changes aren't always the most welcome thing, but somebody who has experience under Insomniac's banner over the past 10 to 15 years, honestly, over most of their tenure in life, honestly, as long as they possibly existed, because they're a fantastic studio, they're one of the best to ever do it. Let's put our hands down right now and say that. I think that is a plus to any environment. That could be additive if they're coming in with a conviction, with the support in their new environment to make things happen and really add the things that need to be added to the experience. You know how I feel about Perfect Dark, baby. You know how I feel about Perfect Dark. NEW, I'm shouting to the rooftops, baby. We need that. We need that. Brian, welcome, brother. Welcome. I need that, brother. I need you to lock in, man. We need that to be heat. We need that to be heat, man. But honestly, fair exchange. Fair. One person moves on to Perfect Dark, a game I want to see do well, and another game that I've seen do well that I like, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Their leads are now at Mars Wolverine, a game that pretty much everyone wants to see do well. So it's an interesting time, and maybe, depending on where the development cycle of the Wolverine is, because there have been a lot of rumors saying that it may show up sooner than we think in terms of gameplay and the rollout that might be on the way. And it could be, at this point, if they're planning to show more gameplay and stuff, there's a solid chance that, it could be more towards the end of production and post-production stuff, polishing phase. So Brian Horton has maybe had enough wiggle room to say, hey, listen, I think we're in a good place. I left it in a good place. Now I can move on to something else, or I'm moving on to something else a little bit early. I couldn't refuse his offer, but it's in a safe spot for you guys to finish up. And now, whoever else is coming in can move in, shore up the job, and see it through. And Perfect Dark can have the boost that it needs in terms of the development side with his vision and direction. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm interested, but I hope both of these games run and play and are fantastic. That's what I want. End of the day. All right. And speaking of, the timing and fantastic. There is fantastic timing, apparently, because there was a brand new TV spot that Sony did tease really quickly. But the dates, December 3rd, 2024, that popped up on a big board in that ad. And they're suggesting, again, that's the 30th anniversary of PlayStation, of course. And some people could suggest that there may be something happening. There might be a new PS experience on that date. I don't know for sure. But two questions. You think a PSX is possible? And two, what would you want to see at it if it is?
I would love to see Wolverine. I would love to see maybe some Death Stranding. There's already so much that got announced. It's like I don't even know what more I would want. Like 2025 is now like I'm overwhelmed with what that year is going to be. So I don't even know if I want anything new, to be honest with you. But maybe a Kingdom Hearts, because we haven't seen that in a little bit.
That would be nice. That would be great. I'd love that.
I'm afraid of seeing that, because then they might be like 2025, and then I'm gonna be even more mad.
Bro, if they say 2025, I'm not going outside, man. I'm not going outside.
That's really ridiculous amount of content. We have so much. Like I don't know if I want any more, bro. Like I think I'm full. I think I'm happy with what we have. We don't need any more, honestly. Because I can't imagine any gamer going into 2025 thinking to themselves like, man, I'm gonna have so much money saved up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much. There's just so much.
Dog, it's ridiculous. You know what? You know what's gonna piss me off? I'm gonna sit here and think, man, oh, maybe they do drop one. Oh, look, a PSX is coming, Hopefully there's nothing that's too crazy on there. They drop a brand new freaking God of War game. They drop a brand new, like they're remaking something. They finally announce a Bloodborne or some shit like that. They do some astronomical, and they're like, yeah, all 2025, guys. If that happens, one, the GTA theory is absolutely confirmed. And two, I'm just gonna be a shut-in. I'm just gonna be a shut-in for the next year. Like I can't go outside. I'm just gonna be doing prison workouts and just eating random stuff that I get delivered. I can't go out. That's it. I'm done. Like I'm interested. If it happens, I'm interested. But the teasing of a December 3rd, I feel like that may have been more of a, you know what I'm saying, something that we know. But between that being the 3rd and the Game Awards on the 12th, there's a lot of wiggle room to drop something. That's all I'm saying. It's a lot of wiggle room. All right, but we can slide on here and talk about the next piece of news. Netflix, after dropping the AAA games division that we talked about last episode, they announced a brand new push into AI generated games, Gen AI games. They were wanted to jump right in and say, hey, we have a brand new initiative powered by AI, man. We got some old God of War people, we got some old Overwatch folks. They're in you know what I'm saying, our ranks right now still. And you know, we're running through this transformational technology to get Gen AI stuff off the ground at Netflix. How do you feel about this?
Sure, I guess. They did so well with their AAA gaming studio, right?
Dog.
What a decision on their part. I'm sure they're gonna do great. This won't end up being a waste of money, time, and resources.
And there's definitely a way to do generative AI in video games, and that's not at fucking all in my heart, honestly. But seriously, there has to be, like, this is just a Wild West for AI, bro. The Wild West for generative AI. Until there's actual sanctions about how much this shit fucks up our environment and how much it actually puts real creative process to cast it asunder, basically, and just replaces it with something that's a lot more sinister and a lot less quality and heartfelt and actually fleshed out, because there's no humans really making this stuff at every turn. It's crazy. Again, if you want to say some shit, like, if you want to put Gen AI in situations where it's like, yo, man, I don't want to build this whole entire side wall by scratch in this mountain range. Gen AI, build this whole mountain range from scratch, and now as a team, let's go through and detail it to make sure it fits within these confines. Cool. Make it that I can understand from an artist perspective. You know what I'm saying? Even then, there may be actual artists who are like, nah, we need to make sure we're hand drawing this and hand doing this and meticulously crafting that, so there is no, you know, mistake, or it is the way we want it. You know, I can understand that. It's just, there's a time and a place, and there's actual use for generative AI things in the greater world, not just in the sense of gaming, but it feels like what we're actually getting served and what's actually being put forth is just, oh, one size fits all generative AI, where none of it is meant to actually be a precise tool. It's going to be a coverall. It's going to try and be a cure-all, and it's going to be a cure none at the end of it. So why? Just don't even do games at all, bro. It's not y'all bag anyways. Y'all fucked up with the first AAA initiative stuff. Insane, man. Insane. Had to, stop and get a drink of water, bro. Y'all drying people out, man. Drying people out. Ridiculous. We can talk about another positive story, man. Hey, listen, I've been bedding in these solid, like, when pick-me-up stories in between the fuckery, and I think I've done a good job this week, honestly. But let's talk about it. Kojima now fully owns the Death Stranding IP. He got it fully off of PlayStation, wherever we had it last. The IP's fully his, the games, the series, everything. That's all his, all Kojima Productions. And again, in that same vein, he dropped it on Xbox, like, out of nowhere over the past, like, week and change. It's like a full thing. People are ready for it. And yeah, it's all his, man. How do you feel?
Fucking love Death Stranding, man. I actually re-downloaded it because I own it across multiple platforms, actually. But anyways, not the point. Not the point. Happy for Mr. Kojima, a franchise he holds near and dear. It is, man, it's pretty transformative. But I'm not the prophet. I'm not gonna guide you to the light. I'm gonna just be there when you finally get there. I think it's an amazing game. I think everybody should play it. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Happy for you, Mr. Kojima. Keep making Death Strandings. I can't wait for 2. I'm very, 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 very excited for this game.
Fucking, you so stupid, bro. This is my thing, bro. If I'm a PlayStation executive, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, how the fuck can we even spin this without him? It's like you're looking at it like a cipher, and the key's over in the other room. Like, we need the key. You might as well leave it whoever has the key, bro. We don't own that shit. We don't own the key. It makes no sense to own this puzzle. We don't need it, bro. Just take it, bro. We're only gonna mess it up. This is tough. We don't know exactly what to do. Kojima was like, yeah, I figured, bro. Get the fuck out of here. So just in the grand scheme of things, I'm so glad he's had a case where he can win something that he created and kind of have that full ownership. I promote ownership heavily of what you've created, your artistic and creative endeavors. You should fully own them. So absolutely agree with that. Absolutely love to see that, and that's dope, man. That's dope. I like that. Good story, man. So yeah, keep winning, and I'm gonna play through all that shit eventually, man. I'll see the light one day. I'll be there with you in the end. We'll figure it out. It might take me some time though. My backlog's nasty. All right, we can slide on here and we can talk about a rumor that we've seen about Call of Duty, and specifically the open case policy for collaboration on Call of Duty, and so much so that we could potentially see Halo and Doom and Gears of War come to Call of Duty in potential future updates. Yes, there are potential in Black Ops 6, no less. This cycle of Call of Duty that we could see those collaborations. How do you feel about it?
It only makes sense, and honestly, they should have launched with some kind of collaboration off rip, because I think we just got a battle pass today.
Yeah, the update is today as of this recording. Yep, there's a brand new update.
So like, I feel like they kind of missed out on a little bit of an opportunity to launch with some heat, because then you would have been able to play Warzone, and all the Xbox people would have been playing with the cool skins, and everybody would have been like, damn, I didn't get to play with Master Chief skin, whatever. Like, but again, it only makes sense. This is like, yeah, they're gonna have their own collabs, and yeah, I don't know if the PlayStation people will even be able to buy those, but makes sense to me.
Nah, 100%. Yeah, this will push numbers. This will do it, bruh. If you just give Doom guy the pairing with the Animal Crossing girl, yeah, I think we'll be lit. I think that would be perfect, honestly. But that as in all seriousness, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. Halo and Call of Duty, two warring factions, as it were, like a decade plus ago. You would never think that there's anything even remotely close in the same like vicinity, and now they could potentially be in the same game at the same time. That's insane. Master Chief holding an RPG, or Master Chief calling in UAVs, makes no sense in my head as an elder statesman of gaming, kind of, but I'm not that old. Relax, it ain't unk status, but chill out. Seeing that is insane. So knowing how far we've gone in the industry, that's just wild to see. But this is a cool collab. These are welcome. These make complete sense. Again, what do we say about collabs all the time? Do they actually make sense? Can you actually execute them well? This absolutely makes sense. All y'all Xbox properties, for one. Two, all y'all are about war and getting shots in, bro. If you give me a battle rifle skin on a 3-round burst weapon, I will love you forever. I'm not gonna lie. Battle rifle is one of my favorite weapons in gaming history, period. Burst weapons in general, that made me want to love burst weapons. I love burst weapons for absolutely no reason. That's just by general affinity. I love them because of the battle rifle. Probably battle rifle and something else. I don't know what, but it was something else. But yeah, dope. That will be dope. Give me battle rifle skins. Give me the energy sword finisher for what's it called? Master Chief. Give me the super shotgun. And like you pulling somebody's guts out. For a finisher for Doom guy. For Gears of War, chainsaw gun. Simple as that. Finisher and we're good. It's that easy. It's that easy. Or give him a big ass Boltok pistol and let him do work. That's all we need to know, man. For real. That would be wonderful. If y'all could put some locusts in there, that would be even double wonderful, honestly. Raise up the profile of these games before y'all drop the new ones, man. Do all that and you're good. But yeah, cool collabs. I'm with it. I'm absolutely with it. All right, we can slide into the trailer Trove. Yes, the section where possible media, all the anime, TV, movies, all that good stuff like that. Listen, next episode we will absolutely. Have you watched The Penguin? Have you finished The Penguin?
No, I have not. No,
I have not finished it either,
sorry.
and that's why I left
God.
it off. I have not finished it either.
I was gonna say, like, me and Ro watched the first episode. Phenomenal first episode. We were like, let's wait for the couple episodes to come out, and at this point, I'm just gonna wait for the season to end because I wait. Oh, amazing! You see, it all worked out in the end. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna go watch it.
I'll be very honest. I've been so busy the past couple of weeks. Like I've been like a few episodes behind, like a good 3. But dog, it has not stopped. It has not stopped. It's fantastic. So that's a whole nother thing that you know what I'm saying, we could talk about in time. But 100%, let's talk about what's on tap for the future. What's on tap for Mass Effect? Yes, because we heard a brand new Mass Effect TV series is in the works at Amazon from a group of people, a whole host of people, with a person who was working on Fast and Furious 9, Daniel Casey, Michael Gamble, who has again been a long time proponent of the Mass Effect series. He's being involved. Aria Rod is going to be on there as well. Interesting stuff. We have some Mass Effect OG representation with Michael Gamble. We have a team in place. Interesting. A whole show, a whole TV show. How do you feel about this win?
I'll be impressed when I see it, I guess. Like, the Halo show just kind of really didn't make me excited for any sci-fi TV right now. And while I do think Mass Effect could be cool, it really depends on where they go with it, because that's the biggest problem, is that like the story and where they want to go with the story is very important. Are they going to follow Shepard? Are they going to go in a different route? Because we've seen what happens when you go a different route with Andromeda. Not to say that story was bad. I just don't really remember it that well. Like, it needs to be executed properly, and that is the biggest thing. Is like, how well can you execute it? What's the show actually going to look like? What's it going to follow? So I can't sit here and act like I am excited, because I just don't know. You know, there's just a lot of factors that need to be taken into account. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to keep my eyes on it. I'll definitely watch a trailer for it. As long as I don't hear no nonsense like, oh, we decided not to play the games at all, like, then I'm gonna be tapped in. But
there's no way, if they say that with Michael Gamble on the team, the guy who literally produced the first like three and change Mass Effects, there's no way. Nah.
Like that, and that's because that's the biggest thing for me, is like I need to walk into this feeling, because that's what made the Fallout show so good, is you felt like they actually give a fuck, you know. And even the main actors, the one who said like, I don't know anything about Fallout, I felt like I needed to be a voice in the room to make sure that we're connecting with audiences who never played the game. Like, I thought that made sense. And like, I agree with that take. Not everybody there should be a Mass Effect fanboy. But if nobody there is a Mass Effect fanboy, y'all just showing up to work to get it checked is what it feels like. Y'all just there. I don't want to watch a TV show for motherfuckers who are just there.
Yep. And the jury's also still out on a show like Yakuza, because I wanted to see what's going on with that one as well, to see if like stuff was closer or not. And I want to get your opinion on it as well, because again, you're a big Yakuza fan. But like,
I have not seen it, and I have no interest in it because of the changes they decided to make, and that's what's sad about it.
And that should be a statement in and of itself. Like, I get adjusting it for modern audiences, and I get adjusting things, but if you're hitting too close to home, you gotta hit a certain threshold with giving respect to the IP, giving respect to the source material, and it just has to be there. It has to be there. Again, Fallout was a really good spin on it, because again, there's a lot of wiggle room with different vaults you can give, and Mass Effect is one of the biggest potential grounds for a great series, in my opinion. So many narrative choices and angles you could possibly take within the story that you've seen with, again, Shepard's story, or outside of that, whatever. My personal opinion, it would be fantastic for them to go to the First Contact Wars and get right into what really happened before the events of Mass Effect 1, and build up more of that story, build up more of the universe, take it somewhere we've never really seen full on. I would love to see more of that in live action screen. I'm sure there's been books and stuff like that, but I want to see more First Contact. If I had a choice in the matter, I'd go there. But looking at the landscape, it would probably be more likely that we'll see, again, more closely aligned to Mass Effect 1, those events, having Garrus Vakarian with us, Liara, you know what I'm saying, the whole OG crew, Caden and all that stuff like that. The space racist Ashley Williams, she cannot survive. I don't care if we need to do a choice like Bandersnatch, bro. We need to all make a whole public choice on TV. If she talk crap about my man or not, You know what I'm saying? My boy Rex, get her out of here, on TV, off TV, whatever. That's just, we standing on business about that one. But there's so much room. There's so much narrative room to build a great story. The foundations are already there. You just got to make sure the CGI and the effects and the practical. I think practical effects would be great in a spot like this. Again, take a card out of a lot of Star Trek's book and stuff, and really go hard on the practical effects for a lot of people. A practical Garrus would be fantastic. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off, but a practical Garrus would be ridiculous. That'd be wicked. But I'm curious. I'm curious because I'm such a big Mass Effect fan. Because I love the franchise so much. There's just a lot of great room for this to be a success. And again, given the recent track record with how they've handled certain things at Amazon, again with the Fallout series, with other game titles, animated titles, or fictional titles, that we've seen in the recent past, there is some level of like, okay, I'm gonna give you some credit in the bank. What can you make with this? We'll see. But so far, I think it's dope. And if y'all going with Shep, it's probably got to be a fem Shep, man. I ain't gonna lie. As much as I gotta do a whole nother run, but all the quotes and all stuff like that, I researched and looked into and just watched after I beat Mass Effect and seen fem Shep. I'm like, yo, you might have to run fem Shep, bro. You probably gotta run fem Shep.
But it's gonna be woke DEI garbage then,
man.
Trip.
Suck my DEI dick, yeah, man. Never mind. Just let it run. Just let it play out, man. Just let it play out. Just let it play out, guys. Come on. But I think the potential for a really great show. Potential for a really great show. All right, that's all we had in there. Let's get to the rest of these regular stories here. Hey, over the past something changed, we had a chance to get into the Monster Hunter Wilds open beta. Yes, that was out. It closed at the beginning of November, I believe, and had some thoughts there. When you had a lot more thoughts than me, because I was trying to find a damn match. But when, as the Monster Hunter Wilds, a more experienced person, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do it in the field report style. How did you feel about that open beta?
So, gorgeous game, gorgeous, runs pretty smooth. Did not have any issues performance-wise. Combat was fun. I felt, but I will say this: I felt like a god, but I also play a lot of Monster Hunter, so like, it might have just been like, yo, and it was the first hunt. Like, it was very much the first hunt. You could tell. Everybody knows when you hit the wall. We all know what monster it was that hit us. When it was Worlds, it was the Andronath. Motherfuckers was not getting past the Andronath without having to lock in. This, for that first hunt, felt very safe, very chill. The other two hunts that I played were not bad at all either. They felt also very much like, oh, if you've played Monster Hunter before, you're gonna have an easy time with a couple of the first monsters. But that's given, that's given. Those aren't high rank. We're in low ranks. I love the open world aspect. It's really cool. I love that my big bird just goes to where I needed to go. It is a little wonky sometimes. Like a lot of it is getting used to. That's all Monster Hunter is. It's just Monster Hunter Wilds is getting used to the new shit. Once you get used to the new shit, it gets a lot better. But like, I'm not gonna lie to you, my bird being like, yo, if you're on your bird for too long and not doing shit, he's just gonna start going. Like, he's just gonna be like, yo, what are we doing here? What are we wasting time for? Like, I'm gonna start moving. The world looks great. I love how it changes. Like, it really feels dynamic. Quest starting by you going out to the wild, finding the monster, and then being like, I'm gonna hit it once, and then the quest starting there is bananas to me. I'm still not used to that. Like, really cool concept, because it's like back in the day, you used to post that bitch, eat a meal, check your gear. All right, time to load in. We load out, we go out, and we fight the monster. Now it's really like, oh, you want to eat? Go ahead and go out there and go cook some shit. What are you waiting over here for? Like, it really felt like you're not really gonna spend a lot of time in the town, which makes sense because it's the wild. It's Monster Hunter Wilds. It's not Monster Hunter stay indoors. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty cool. You could straight up run into other monsters that are just out there. It makes expeditions more fun, because expeditions to me felt like just straight up side missions. Was just like, oh, I gotta go over here and learn, like, find this stuff. Like, it combined two things of the game that I didn't really think needed to be combined until now, and I'm like, oh, it just makes sense. Everything being in the open world makes sense. Starting a mission like this makes sense. But because it's so different, it was very frustrating that day one. Getting everybody on the same fucking server, annoying as shit. Getting people together, that whole thing, we spent quite literally 1 hour trying to figure it out, and we could not get a game together because we were literally like, I'm gonna send it to you. All right, did you get it? All right, we're in the same link party, but you're not in the same environment. Are you in the environment now? I'm gonna send it again. Can I add you through Steam? No, you gotta add me through Monster Hunter. What's the lobby ID? All right, I'm in the lobby, but I don't see you. Where are you at? It was stupid. It was dumb. It doesn't, to me, I don't know what, and maybe this is just my knowledge, and maybe I just don't know. I don't know what's the point of having you in my party and not in my environment. I don't get the purpose of that. I don't understand that shit whatsoever. It doesn't make sense. Like, and maybe I'll find out later there's a benefit to that. I just don't see it, because why would I want you in my party if we're not gonna play together? Once we figured all of it out, me and Charles were able to get a hunt in, but after that, the one hunt, when we tried to get tripping, it took us forever. And I talked to other people. They said after that first day, it was easy. Everything made sense. Everything was working was working properly. So it could have been literally just because it's a beta and it was the first day of the beta that it wasn't working as smooth. So I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. When this game drops, I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna buy it regardless, even if I can't get online. Like, I'm playing this game no matter what. But that was the biggest gripe. But everything else, from the monster designs to the focus modes to the weapons, everything was awesome. The focus modes is still gonna take me a little bit of getting used to. Like, having to aim my weapon without like aiming it like a third person is weird. It is very weird. But I think with practice, it's gonna get a lot better.
Nah, I hear it, man. Again, I haven't been in Monster Hunter in like ages, man. I barely touched, honestly, the surface of the Monster Hunter fandom and the franchise. What's it called? But my experience with it, outside of what I'll get to next, it was actually pretty fun. I ain't gonna lie. Again, the mounts really simple. Again, the attack patterns and stuff. The character creator was really in depth, which I liked. The world looked really cool. Ran pretty smoothly. I didn't have no problems with it. Just super intriguing, and a lot of dynamic just moments that happened, you know what I'm saying, with the world and the monster that you fought in that tutorial mission, that first mission right there. Again, just running back and forth from different areas, which I liked. You know what I'm saying? There may be even tools that you can use, like, you know, trap it, snare it, and stuff like that I don't know about. As a novice to the Monster Hunter Worlds, Monster Hunter Wilds experience, or Monster Hunter experience in general, I thought this was really cool. Really cool. I'm interested. I said from before, I wanted to try my hand at this game and get into it, and it looks like, again, they're opening up for it. But damn, these menus, bro. Damn, getting into a party. Damn, bro. Come on, y'all. We gotta fix up, man. We was there for like 30 minutes trying to get into a lobby together, bro. Not the same environment, a lobby. I joined their environment at some point, like halfway, but then we just couldn't join a party. I could join Charles, but Charles couldn't join me. You know what I'm saying? I can't join Wen can't join me, but he could join Charles, so we just try to link up through that way. It was a whole lot of pain, bro. It was a whole lot of pain that I was not prepared for. It's a beta, so that's kept me calm. But yeah, let's try and get that ironed out before y'all drop, please. That's it, though. That's it.
Yeah, that's literally the only issue. It's like that one problem. But I think that's like an easy, like, and again, it would be great if there was just no issue whatsoever. But Monster Hunter is just like, I don't know what it is about them. Every iteration, there's like one really weird thing, because everybody remember, like, people remember in Worlds where you weren't able to join people's hunts until after they watched the first cutscene, which, like, on paper is like, oh, that's not that big a deal, but it's really annoying when, like, I want to play the game with my friends and us having to be like, all right, let's all go to a hunt. All right, watch the cutscene. I abandon it. Now let's link back up. It just doesn't make sense. It's stupid. But again, we move. I think but every game gets better. And I do think this system will get better with time. And I think once we understand it, we'll be able to lock in and get past it. But it is very annoying. And I hope Capcom, maybe not in Wilds, but in the next iteration, they just figure it out. I just feel like every time they're like, yo, this is the problem, this is how you should solve it, they're like, ah, yes, a solution. I understand that now. We're going to create an entirely new system. And now we're going to try to implement this whole new system. It's like, oh, did you listen to our stuff about the last system? It's like, no, not at all. We just made a whole new system and we think this is going to be better. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's better, but this also has some problems. And they're like, I hear you. So we invented an entirely new system for the next game that's gonna come with its own problems as well. Like that's what it feels like. It's never the same problem, but there's always a problem.
Come on, son. It's wild. It's wild. It's Monster Hunter Wilds. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me. I'm gonna jump off a short bridge. It's okay. Don't worry. I'll take care of it, dog. I'm joking. All right, man. We can slide on here. We can get to the next story here. Let's talk about Arc Raiders, which has been in the rumor mill, the conversation mill for a good little bit now. You know what I'm saying? It's had its first little reveals probably 1 or 2 years ago, and now we have some honest gameplay that is here available. Again, a multiplayer extraction shooter, kind of like a semi-future, semi-dystopian kind of deal here, where you're extracting with a team of different people. You can meet different folks in the environment, it's friend or foe. Make sure you're on the run through underground tunnels and different abandoned and post-apocalyptic kind of areas, running away from the bots that look a lot like spiders. Like, why the hell they're doing that? So you don't want to meet the Ark and you don't want to meet the Raiders, but you still got to get your your coin, get your things, and get out. So interesting concept. How do you feel about this one?
I don't like extraction shooters.
Yes.
Never did. never did. I was actually excited for Arc Raiders, and then like literally the first 30 seconds of that video was an extraction shooter.
Yep.
I tuned out so fast. I got so bored. I was like, great world. This is sick. This is cool. But man, do I not care. Like, I was just like, no. I think it's cool, man. But again, I can't do it. I cannot. I'm just not a fan of extraction shooters.
Mm-hmm. No, you know what? That's fair.
It looks good though. Like I think it's a good take on the genre though. I do think it's a good take on the genre. It looked pretty cool. Like it looked nice. The graphics look dope. The world and environment look really, really interesting. But again, just cannot. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. I liked what I saw. Again, I'm not the hugest fan of extraction shooters like that, but I can get into it if it's an enticing enough concept and world. This looks pretty cool, honestly. It's like I don't know why the world just felt like EA Dice-ish, like Battlefield-ish. Like I don't know if you're with me on that, but it just felt like that, and maybe a little bit of Star Wars Outlaws. It kind of felt like that third person, the FOV, like all those things that were there felt like it was a little bit like drawn back and stuff in that sense. Maybe a little bit slower in terms of pace and running around, but I like that. It looked pretty cool. I wonder how the speed of gameplay picks up and where certain things lie and how big these environments are and how many players are in them. Valid questions that I want to see, hopefully answered in time. Maybe they already are answers for them, because I know there's been playtesting and stuff, but from what I see, I like the spin on it. I personally am not the biggest fan of Tarkov. I feel like sometimes it gets a little bit too dark and a little bit too like gritty down to the floor. So I like some of the semi-futuristic concepts that are a part of this, that are on top of those things, and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. I want to see the different environments though. That would be a big question for me as well, but so far, damn, that guy got sniped in the footage that I'm watching. That's hilarious. I forgot he got sniped in that thing when they were like calling to say, hey, listen, teammate, you want to split the loot? I forgot he got sniped like a mug, bro. That's
literally watched up until that point, and then I saw him like, oh man, motherfuckers are gonna. Nah, I'm good. I was like, nah, cause I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not finna. Shit. I forgot he got his shit. I'm not finna lose my shit. I'm good.
Oh man, gosh, it's insane. But yeah, it's just. I need to see a little bit more. Would I be enticed to play this? Maybe I can be persuaded, but it seems like there's still a little bit more to be desired from my end personally. I got to see what else is going on, man. Extraction shooters are definitely a harder sell for me as well. Maybe not as hard as you win, but still they're a bit of a gap to make up. So we'll see. But the concept does interest me. The world actually really does interest me. I just want to see how it feels when I have it in my hands. That's really it. All right, we can slide on here and talk about Ubisoft. Yes, Ubisoft. There's been some more talk and more you know what I'm saying, description from the Assassin's Creed boss, the VP, the guy who oversees all the Ubisoft talk when it comes to Assassin's Creed, the boss, Mark Alexis Cote, or Cote, I don't know how you pronounce that. Please don't butcher me, French people in the comments. Please don't butcher me, please. We've been butchered up by Pokemon people. It's enough. He basically just been talking about, you know, a lot of the backlash that they've gotten for Assassin's Creed, and he stood on business, man. He's like, listen, this has been a naturally diverse, you know, franchise, a diverse you know, just lineage of protagonists, characters, different identities, whether it be racial, ethnic, gender based. There's been a lot of different things, and you know, there's just been this tough climate, because at the same time that people are pouring their hearts into this, you know, the game that they're making, they're being met with, you know, half-truths, lies. Again, the quote here was, the current climate is tough on our creative teams. They face lies, half-truths, and personal attacks online. When the work that they pour their hearts into is twisted into a symbol of division, it's not just disheartening, it can be devastating. What keeps me going is the resilience born out of conviction that I see in our teams every day. I am especially proud of the Shadows team for staying true to their creative vision and the core tenets of Assassin's Creed. Again, there's a whole article breaking this down, but he stood on business, man. How do you feel about this?
I think it's dope. I really love that I love this take. It's a take that honestly most people should have. Truly, like, don't bend over to the bullies. You'll never escape their clutches. Mm-hmm. Truly, you're gonna end up having to make fucking big titty boring games for the rest of your life. I love that he's making this statement. I really do wish this was happening earlier. Truthfully, like, I really feel like it's not that it's too late, because it's better late than never, but I wish he would have said something sooner, you know, because at the end of the day, so many people have gotten harassed and have been getting harassed. Companies are like having to like crisis control so much, like death threats, all this shit's happening, and I'm happy to see him taking a stance. I want more people to start taking a stance. But yeah, it would have been great if they would have said this sooner, because it's something that needed to be said. These people are weird, and let them know, dog, because it makes sense. Like, you can't. There's just no world where you just make the same shit over and over and over again, and then you guys just keep making money. Like, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it sucks that there's a disconnect internally at this point, because where Yves Guillemot was like, you know, he kind of backpedaled and like, yeah, nah, like, oh no, we're an experience for everybody, we're not trying to like divide anybody, like, you know, and they're kind of playing into the hands of a lot of these, again, grifters and bums who are trying to divide and you know, and incite hate everywhere. There's this statement, and that was really, really positive. Honestly, it was really, really good, just to nip that shit in the bud and be like, yo, listen, they're facing a lot of bullshit. These devs, they're facing a lot of bullshit, and I'm proud of them for not backing down and budging and going after that creative vision and building upon, you know, the things that were laid out in history to make their own creative story, and bring these characters to life. So it's dope to finally see that come out of Ubisoft's camp. I just hate that it wasn't ubiquitous throughout, and it's not the Assassin's Creed boss's fault. It's not Mark Alexis's fault. That's the fault of other people for not standing 10 toes down and actually putting the creative process and creativity and art first, and, you know, the tenets of that. But you know, I'm glad it's here. I'm glad the statement is actually here in and of itself. So you know what, I'm dope. Big up to Ubisoft. There goes a win. There goes an actual win, a small W. Yeah. But you know what, we can stop the rot for now. All right, man. Moving on here, we had a talk with the Helldivers. Well, not us, but we use on Twitter, bro. We'll eventually have a talk with Pillsted, man. We gonna see you soon, gang. No Cooldown gonna be there soon, dog. But there was an article from videogamer.com that talked about crossovers with Helldivers. That would just be dope. Something that they really want to see be implemented down the line. And Pillsted, again, they was pretty big on potential like experiences, and he was listing out some dope ones like Alien, Starship Troopers, Terminator, Predator, Star Wars, Fifth Element, Blade Runner, Warhammer 40k, Trench Crusade, Mutant Chronicles, Drop Zone Commander. These things that wouldn't just make it not Helldivers, they want it to be even more Helldivers with some of these collabs, and he listed a few of those out. How do you feel about some of those listed and his intentions with any collaborations?
I think it makes a lot of the things he mentioned make sense. I would love to see it as well. It really depends, because they are a PlayStation property, you know, and like there's room for wiggle room, you know what I'm saying? But like, and they have a good backing, but it's also tough because I think that like the game has gotten such a bad rap in recent times because it was like quote unquote like boring and people weren't happy with like the way it was getting bounced. I would love to see them expand truly, because I think it would be a really, really fun time to play a Warhammer world, or having them, expanding into like Starship Trooper. I would love to see how they would play it out, or if it would be like, oh, this is main lore, or if we're just gonna do like some like what if scenarios or something like that. Like, I'm interested, but yeah, like I don't know if it will happen, unfortunately. Like we will see. I can't imagine the like, I don't know. I don't see a world where it doesn't, unless the game just straight up dies. And I don't think that that's something that's impossible. But like, I just like, why not work with them? The game is so good. It is so good, and it works with so many different IPs. I guess it just comes down to a money thing.
Yeah, nah, it might just be a cash thing. I wonder how close they can get without saying, hey, we're gonna need a license for this. But I would rather them actually get the license, but again, that's gonna be a lot of money, and I hope that PlayStation could foot the bill on some of these things. But I think that his mindset on this is spot on as well. It's like, yo, we want to make this as true to Helldivers as possible, and something that really blends in with what we're seeing. Like, bruh, like, imagine a mission where you're on a planet, and it's like, or maybe not even a planet, you're on like a ship outpost or whatever, some shipyard or whatever, and you have to fight a group of xenomorphs to get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, how dope that would be. It don't even have to be a lot of them, bro. It could be like a couple big size ones, a couple big ones who are like actual bosses, but like they're hunting you. Like, you get out, something goes left with the mission, and these aren't just regular aliens on a planet. There's xenomorphs there now. You gotta escape with these like supercharged motherfuckers on there. Like, tailored experiences, tailored like collaborations. Again, Fortnite's perfected this to where they've had tailored collaborations that are easily like moldable and malleable to the environment of Fortnite, to the game state and experience. And that's a good level of consideration that I think that's kind of being echoed here in a sense. And I love that. I love that. I want to make sure, and I promote and I encourage, things that make sense for the game itself. Like, remember when Call of Duty brought in what's it called, Attack on Titan? Remember when they put Attack on Titan in the game, and I was like, bro, this don't look like Levi. This Reiner thing's kind of insane. Like, it's just there to be there, and it's like, it's cool, but like, I don't see it fully. It's like, I don't like, it's just kind of like a wow one. It's a really weird collaboration. I guess anime, you're tapping into the zeitgeist, but it just, for me personally, it didn't really fit all the way. Didn't really fit. It's what it is. But what's it called? I like it. I like it. I think, again, if there's anybody who understands the pulse of Helldivers, it's Pilstead. Honestly, like, he knows his shit, obviously. But it's dope. It's dope. I'd want to see any one of these. They would be a great collaboration. Honestly, it'd be a great collaboration.
Yeah, I think so too. And I honestly think that they know what they're doing over there. I think they're gonna, if they get the opportunity, they're gonna knock it out of the park. But that's it. That's all it takes is the opportunity. We need to get them the opportunity. Well, not me specifically. I don't have that kind of pull. Eventually, I hope to have that kind of pull. But
Sony, lock in. And in the meantime, you know what I mean? But yeah, we can slide on here. I'm not sure if you had a chance to play this, but the Axe of Blood Steam demo dropped the other day. Did you get a chance to play that?
No, I didn't, unfortunately. I did watch gameplay of it, but I didn't get to play it myself.
That's all good. I did. I will be the correspondent this time, baby, because I knew I was playing this one, man. Shout out to Fajrul, FNF. Shout out to that whole team on that side. Yeah, man. I had a chance to sit down, finally play that Steam demo when it dropped. For one, really surprised at the visuals. Honestly, the visuals are sharper than I thought. Again, running on the Unreal Engine. Really cool visuals. Like some of the polish behind, the character models and such. Really nice. Cool music, honestly. Cool, the custom compositions and stuff like that. Some cool stuff in there. Make you feel like a badass, man. Some of the clothing options was dope, but the bulk and potatoes of this, of course, obviously, is the combat and the gameplay, man. One, I will say, there's something that I look for specifically when I'm playing these type of beat 'em ups. Again, in the vein of Sifu, obviously, it's going to be my first comparison. It's just the weight of hits, the weight of the combat, the weight of you punching, the weight of you, you know what I'm saying, moving around, and you're feeling really the flow of it. You know what I'm saying? When you hit somebody, and honestly, Batman Arkham Asylum too, the Arkham series as well is in that conversation of like the weight of just like you feel that, you know what I'm saying, behind it. And I felt it there to a strong degree. I felt it there when you're hitting, you know what I'm saying, like hard combos and you're doing sweeps and stuff. I felt the weight and the sting behind the impact of those inputs, which I liked. Very big plus. One thing I wanted to make sure that they got down. I didn't want it to be floaty. When I punch somebody in they shit, I want to feel it. I want to make sure it's there. I want to make sure like it feels so alive and so active when you do it, that I can feel that through like I know that hurt, like, you know what I'm saying. It can't just be a detached experience. I want it to feel immersive. I want the hits to feel immersive, and they definitely do. I think the movement's pretty cool. I don't know if there was a HUD thing or maybe there was a glitch in it. Again, I'm giving it credence because it was a demo, but I'm not sure if there was any HUD system, like, or greater HUD system I could like customize a little bit to see maybe if there's a health bar or something. I didn't get a health bar in my demo. Maybe I turned that option off. I don't know, but I'll have the footage on screen to show some of what I went through. They had a mission. They had a mission, story mission that you can go through, and a what's it called, an arena mode where just kind of like one life you get and going through as many enemies as possible, wave after wave. Honestly, I like the again, just the look and feel of it. Some of the constructive criticism I will have, again, it's an indie game, obviously, you know what I'm saying, it's there. I will say the inputs were a little bit confusing at first. The crouch button being relegated to the D-pad when instead of it's just a click on the what's it called, the joystick, is a little bit jarring. It's a little bit new. Some of the inputs, like finishers being in X and A instead of in Y, heavy modes, hits, dodge rolls onto right trigger instead of onto circle. My whole entire thing about that section is just make the buttons mappable, and I think that would be a better outcome. Again, that's just eventually down the line thing, but I think making them mappable would be a lot better of a time for people, because I think that was an adjustment. There were some things to get used to. I would love a lock-on feature that would help massively for some of this. Again, lock-on feature, maybe a tighter, I guess, mapping or tracking with the inputs. I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying, left out in the dark personally. And Sifu didn't have a lock on, did it? I can't remember. Again, I'm sorry.
No, it didn't. Man, I have not played in so long. It might have.
I don't think it did exactly, but the inputs and the directions that you put them in were so tight, I felt like I didn't really need it at times. The camera work, again, that could be a little bit better on Sifu's case, but you know, it is what it is. That's any fighter, like active beat 'em up, is going to run into that problem in one way or another. I felt like some of the animations I feel like were really, really cool. Super cool. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I have no problems with that. That was a big plus for me as well. The animations and the finishers were dope. Like, I ain't gonna lie, people was getting put in there. I got hit with a neck breaker at one point, and I was like, bro, what's going on? Hold on. The ridiculousness. Destructible environments, really, really cool. There are sections where I'm pretty sure you can sneak through a little bit, but again, that might need to be fleshed out a little bit more. There were some problems. I did run into a couple of glitches and such. The final boss on the story mission, he could not die. He did not die, and I don't know if it was my fault for maybe not shooting his helmet off. Like, he had a welder's helmet on. I don't know if I was supposed to shoot that off and then fight him more, but he's a guy with a chainsaw with like an apron on and no shirt in the rain. I was like, bro, there's a lot going on here. I don't know what the process in terms of like beating you. So I'm just gonna like get these shotgun shells off, which I did. Again, you can fire firearms in this game, which is a dope plus, a huge plus. I think those controls can be a little bit more smoother, but again, that's just whatever. I like the fact that they were even there, so it's something to build on. The fact that this boss just would not die. I punched him about 1,000 times over. I kept punching him and he would not die. He would not go down, and that's a glitch maybe in there. I don't know. I gotta go see if it was just me or it was a common problem. I don't know. But that was a lot, and getting crowded sometimes is a little bit of a lot. I think the sweep maybe isn't as responsive as clearing them out as I thought it would be. Yeah, just a couple of things here and there. I would say it's rough around the edges. I understand it's rough. It's in any games. It's there, but the weight of the combat and some of the smoothness and the counters and the parrying system, I think those are there. I think those are actually there, and those are worthwhile to build upon. The feel of the game, I would say, for better or worse, it's there. It's there, and there's a lot of things in terms of the smoothness, some of the mapping of the controllers and the controller schemes that need to improve. But overall, I think there's something to really build on in terms of a really good beat 'em up, man. I think there's something to look out for, man. We'll see how it progresses with further updates from Fudgerul and the team, but so far I like it, man. So far I actually think there's a base there to really be good. Right now, just again, it's a little bit of a rough state. It's not final, man, but for the demo that we played, so far I like it, and I want to see where they build to. That's where I'm at. Yeah, that's really it about it, man. But shout out to Axe of Blood, man. Talked about it a couple of times before. Really like it. Yeah, I want to see where they build to next. Keep going, because the base is there. The foundation is definitely there. All right, we can talk about this next story here. We can talk about Warner Brothers, man. They've had a whole wave of updates over the past week and change, talking about what's up with them next. They're blocking in. They're trying to focus up again after a huge loss, apparently, of about $300 million plus on Multiverses and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. They've been really locked in on shoring things up and trying to focus on their key series. They're planning to focus on only Batman, Mortal Kombat, and Hogwarts Legacy really moving forward. Those are their key focal points on what they wanted to lock in on, and those are their core franchises going forward. That's what they're looking at. I believe Game of Thrones was involved in there as well. So Mortal Kombat, Hogwarts Legacy, Game of Thrones, and DC, mainly Batman games in the future. How do you feel about this shift from David Zaslav and WB?
I think it makes sense. I think it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. We'll see. I understand why some people are like, you see Multiverses lost them some money. I don't know. That game is pretty gas. I have a lot of fun with it. But I also think that like they thought that game was gonna be like Smash Bros levels, where it's like Smash Bros has like a very dedicated rabid fan base. Like if they made an entire console that was $800 to play Smash Bros, just Smash Bros and nothing else, the Smash Bros community would buy it. It is very difficult to move that community. But it makes sense. Like I think WB makes a lot of mistakes. I think they need to like look inward, because I think a lot of their issue is too many cooks in the kitchen. That's what I personally think, but to each their own. We'll see how this plays out for them, but it's not necessarily that Suicide Squad was just a bad IP, because it's not always the IP. It's generally the game in the IP. That's the problem, and I think once they figure that out, they'd be in a better place. Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, this is like a, everybody's kind of doing this at a huge level. There's not going to be really any risk for the next few years. I'm going to be honest, at least from the top line AAA levels, we're not seeing any risk. We're going to see a lot of inward folding on, IPs, properties, what they're planning to do next with their projects and pipeline. This is just how the state is. And WB is in no position to try and, like force things. They should try and, take a risk on certain things in the idealistic world, where people will see effort in different ways and new angles and be like, you know what, we should probably stick with this. But they're not going to do that. David Zaslav is not going to allow that. As long as there is any evil in the world, he will be on the side of it, and he is not going to make that happen. So
yeah,
hold another Hogwarts Legacy sequel, hold another XYZ game that you already seen before, hold all of that, bro, because it's coming your way. That's where we're at right now. And as tough as that sounds, that's just the unfortunate reality of AAA gaming. You're not going to see any truly inventive things at this level for the foreseeable future. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a long time for you to see anything really like out of the gate crazy at this high level of production investment at this point. it's a myth. It's a myth. And WB should be it should be solidified in your head by now that they're not going to risk shit. So getting into the core is an unfortunate byproduct of how the industry is now, especially at AAA levels. They just want to take that risk, man. They just don't want to take that risk. It's really that. But we can slide on here to our last story. Let's talk about, finally, we got some more gameplay, some more details, some more looks at South of Midnight. There was a whole developer documentary that dropped on Compulsion Games channels. There's been some extra content from other creators talking to the studio and some of their performers and actors and devs who have been on the team. Again, just some more talks about it, details. Set in the American South. Got a lot of comparisons to Kena Bridge of Spirits. About a 15 to 20 hour journey with, again, face-offs against like mythical creatures from Southern folklore. And again, just looking at like the magical soul spirit weaver, you know what I'm saying, of our main character Hazel, double jumping, using things around the environment like air grapples, glides, and all this stuff in this stop animation style to kind of fill out the world and what it is. Again, just basically third-person action combat coming next year on all platforms. Well, actually, Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. It's not coming to PlayStation or Switch. But yeah, we finally got some more tidbits about South of Midnight. How do you feel, Wen?
I think this game looks really, really good. Like there were some aspects of it when I first saw that I was a little wary on, but I didn't want to shit on it because I knew that everybody in the world was just going to shit on it because Black woman. But like after seeing this, like bits and pieces of this documentary, it looks really, really, really good. Like, and I was already hooked on the story. I was gonna love the lore regardless.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of all in on this game now. Like this game looks like it's gonna be a blast. I cannot wait for this game. The combat looks pretty fucking fun. The world we knew was gonna be gas. The world was never not gonna be gas. I was already from the cinematic I was kind of in, and I don't even really like cinematics like that. But I was like, this is very, very different from what I'm used to. I want to see this play out. Like this is gonna be, I think, a game that a lot of people are gonna shit on unnecessarily because again, Black woman.
It's already started, but it's gonna with certain bums out there and bums. With
I'm
disease,
sure.
You understand?
I'm 100% sure. But this game looks like it's gonna be very special, and I'm really excited to see this game when it comes out, because I know I'm gonna be playing it. I need to finish the documentary because I started it but didn't get a chance to finish it. Because I'm a big fan of like the background of all of this.
Absolutely.
And from what I've seen so far, it does seem like a passion project,
bro. From the documentary, from all the tidbits that we've gotten so far, it looks like a really, really meticulous labor of love from all accounts, and I'm loving what I'm seeing them put together. I'm loving the thought processes behind it, the team that they brought in, just to understand. Like they brought in again like folklore specialists from the South to come tell stories. They've done again different trips out to the South and actually really contextualize what they're seeing and living in and living through. Really, really good stuff. One thing that stood out to me in this documentary talking about the game was the usage of the music and how that informed the story and the environment. And again, basically kind of how a lot of these things that have mutated the world and changed the world are reflections and different dimensions of trauma that humans have imparted on other people and humans have just experienced in their lives. And in that conflict, in that, you know, in these combat scenarios in different places where you're meeting this trauma built in, it's kind of contextualized in a musical sense from orchestra. Orchestral music isn't really native to the South. Not really. The folklore music, again, like the folk music, the Southern music, banjos and stuff like that, like those typical instruments that you associate with the Deep South, that's what sticks. That's what's normal. That's what's native to the area. And orchestral music represents this kind of like invasive species, this mutation that isn't really born from, you know, born from the area. It's not native. It's not there. And kind of highlighting that process of dealing and facing with a non-native thing, an invasive thing, something that isn't really, you know, again, not necessarily good or pure in relation to the South. And as it eradicates, it's replaced with the folklore music, the folk music, the things that are native to the area, the region, that climate, that environment. And that's dope to me, bro. The fact that they've gone to that deep of a layer and, you know, shown like, bro, we can take that process and theme of dealing with trauma to that level of where you cast out all the bad and the impure and the foreign that is just, you know, like, again, like a nervousness, anxiety, and things like that. When you're dealing with that, you effectively treat that, it makes room for the good. It makes room for the pure, the native, the things that are really, really core to what that environment is. And again, like when you defeat monsters, the whole environment opens up and it blooms. There's flowers and all stuff like that. The brightness comes back. And that, again, that layering, we went through we looked at it through something similarly, like in what's it called? Tenzukin Zero Zao, when they've used the music to inform a lot of the story and the thematic layering of everything else. And it's dope to see that level here. And again, all they had to say was Kane and Bridge of Spirits, and I was in. I was already here. I was already gonna do that, bro. I'm like, yeah, that locked me in, bro. I'll pay the money. I'll pay the $5. Like, let's get into it. But seeing that on top of, again, more glimpses of the gameplay, which looks really, 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 really good. The art style looks really, really, really fucking good. The musical influence, the story, the character work, that looks like there's a lot of depth in that as well. I am super, super into it. If I wasn't before, I'm absolutely into it now. I think South of Midnight is going to be a really, really dope game, man. I think there's a lot of substantial things in there to be saying. It's really going to be a nice, tidy experience. And again, if it's in that 15 to 20 hour range, that's perfect. To me, that's perfect. And I think it's going to do exactly what it sets out to do. I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited.
No, yeah, I am as well. I hope it's not. And I think if it is, I will still play it, even if it is a little bit of a longer experience. But I would love to see something short, sweet, and to the point, like giving us something to want more of, you know. I think this is going to be a really, really, really good time. And I can't wait to get it, because this is going to be similar to Tales, where we both played it and we're like checking notes. Like, we're going to be like doing the same thing with this game, where it's like, yo, what part are you at? Did you get to this part?
100.
I can already see it happening.
100. I absolutely agree, man. South of Midnight is setting a really good precedent leading up to its release. So, man, listen, I just hope we see more, man. I just hope we see more. That's really all we got. And speaking of that, man, listen, we out of notes, bro. It's done. We have hit the 2 hour mark, honestly, almost on the dot, which is the earliest we've been in a long time. Shoot, anything that we might have missed?
Not to my knowledge, not that I can think of.
Word, me neither, honestly. I will say the only thing is I've just seen a brand new emote for season 1 of Black Ops 6, and it's that one ray gun girl from the Olympics doing that stupid T-Rex dance, and it's hilarious. No. And I might need to buy that. I'm not gonna lie, I might need to lock in. I might need to lock in.
That's so funny. I might also need to lock in, unfortunate for my wallet.
100, man. Funny as hell. But that's pretty much all we got there. Wayne, give me your closing notes, man, for this episode.
Drink your water, play your favorite video games, go outside and talk to people, you know. Go outside, like outside, like go and talk to real people.
100%. And my closing notes is, if you still got an itch to talk to people online, man, you might want to get on Blue Sky. That's all I'm saying. Allegedly, man. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Stuff shutting down on the bird end, bro. I don't know, man. I just wanna let y'all know, man. It's looking kind of rough on that side. You might want to go to the skies. But anyway,
after Friday, my ass will not be on the bird app. I will tell you that right now. I'm just
saying, they using AI like crazy. Don't post no funny jokes, bro. They about to take your shit. It's looking wild. But with that being said, the gaming year is coming to a close very, very soon. The Game Awards nominees will be out on Monday, which we will try to talk about next episode. There's so much stuff that's happening towards the end of the year. Thank you all for sticking with us through this year so far, man. It's been a lot. There's been so much stuff. We've had guests. We've had, you know what I'm saying, hiatuses. We've had our first activations that have been involved with stuff this year. I'll probably do a whole sappy thing again at the end of the year, but thank y'all so much for sticking with us. Appreciate y'all. But that is all we got for this episode 107 of No Cooldown Podcast, man. But we're out of here. Peace.